Hey,
Part 2 is already looking at 45 minutes long, so
I've decided against my better judgment to turn this into 3 parts. The first 2 are about Joey and how much he's changed through raising his own pets versus fostering, which I think gave him a lot more responsibility because it wasn't just his dog he was raising that was gonna be with him his entire life, so he was fine with the issues they had. And then part 3 is gonna be about Wagmore because I fully believe that Wagmore has its own issues and it would be wonderful if the owner could address them and hopefully clear things up because I fully believe that they're a wonderful rescue. They just have a lot of plans. And seeing as they're really still quite a new rescue, I just think that they need to slow down a bit. Watch part 2, just so you can see the type of opinions I have towards Joey. I hope you can realize that I don't have anything against Joey. This is seriously just about the animals. I don't know why people think I'm trying to cancel Joey. I'm not. I really have nothing against him. I think he has done a lot for YouTube. I think he's done a lot for these animals too. And I think he's done a lot for his friends. I have nothing against him. I just don't like it when animals are mistreated, especially when they have the resources to treat them better. And especially when they did go on to treat animals better in the future. So, I hope you enjoy this video.
I received a comment that said, "And please, for the love of God, do not ever breed a puppy at first heat or even allow them to be around an unneutered male around that time. It's pretty equivalent to a person getting pregnant right around their first period, which is usually around 8 years old to 13 years old. A dog is not fully grown until about 2.5 years old. That's why a service dog isn't fully trained until 2.5. And this was something that I also had an issue with, but wasn't educated enough to bring it up myself. It also begs the question, what daycare allowed an unspayed dog who was in heat to be around unneutered dogs? What daycare does Joey use that would be this irresponsible with someone else's pets? Not to mention, a shelter does not give animals to Joey. Joey works with a little company called Wagmore Dog Rescue. Wagmore started out as a dog grooming and hotel business before they were a rescue.
I, for the last 7 years, have run Wagmore Pet Hotel and Spa. And I did it sort of on a whim because I've always loved dogs and I've rescued dogs for the last 16, 17 years since I moved to Los Angeles. And, one day I just saw this dog facility that I knew was a dog hotel and spa and it was for lease. And I thought, I think I would like to do that. Never groomed a dog, never, just was like, I'm gonna call.
And they started by selling pets out of their front window.
I signed the lease and we opened it and I decided that since I had a background in dog rescue and I loved dogs, I was like, I'm gonna give the front window of this building to a few dogs. I'm gonna rescue like 4 or 5 dogs at a time and it'll be easy. The people will come in, they'll be using us for daycare and boarding and grooming and they'll want to adopt dogs because they love dogs.
They've grown since then and have now rescued over 3,000 animals in 2020 alone.
Through the pandemic, we have rescued over 3,000 dogs.
Wow.
We have rescued 3,000 dogs. We've housed 3,000 dogs. We've probably rescued more because we still have many in our shelters and foster system. And we opened our 501c3 in February of 2020.
Wagmore requires a $600 fee for adoption. The thing is, a lot of these dogs are mutts. That's not to say they don't deserve spectacular homes, of course, but they're upcharging to make a profit on animals they get for cheap or free. When looking at the adoption page for a dog, you're greeted with a message that reads, "Thank you for your interest in giving this dog a forever home. Please keep in mind that many of the dogs that come into Wagmore Pets have often had very little positive human interaction and might take a little extra love and patience to feel comfortable in your home. Puppies are sometimes born from pregnant dogs in our care, while other dogs come in as rescues. All puppies are held in quarantine with a foster family for 2 weeks to care for them. During this time, they will be brought up to date with their vaccinations and are seen by our vet for a full wellness check. The dog would then be available to go home with their forever family when they're 8+ weeks old and held in quarantine for 2 weeks. To keep these puppies safe from bacteria and deadly diseases, puppies are never available for meet and greets."
Edit. This happened after I had finished editing, but apparently Colleen has magic non-virus spreading abilities and was able to meet the puppies anyways. Who knows?
It's like an actual stuffed animal, like not real at all.
Look at, I'm in heaven.
Also, because our animals are rescued, we cannot guarantee their breed. In most cases, our dogs will be mixed breed. Therefore, we do recommend DNA testing, and then they include a discount code. If after reviewing your application, we feel you could potentially be a good fit and the dog is still available, an adoption coordinator may reach out to you via email or phone to schedule a 15-minute phone interview to go over your application and many questions you may have about our adoption process. Red flag number 1. You should always be able to visit, at the very least, to see the environment the puppies are being raised in to ensure they're being housed properly. Red flag number 2. Upcharging on dogs they admittedly know are mixed breed. Red flag number 3. If you continue to look at some of the dogs they have up for adoption on their site, you'll notice a lot of the descriptions contradict the details, while others don't have descriptions at all. Red flag number 4. In rehoming, they state, if after assessment an animal is suitable for rehoming, we will care for that animal as long as it takes for the right forever home. On the surface that sounds nice until you reread that and notice it says after assessment. So they won't allow an in-person assessment for the home, the mother, or the puppies, but they'll demand to add a clause to their rehoming. That should be a lifetime guarantee, not a with exceptions. Red flag number 5. On their website they state, spay or neutered and microchipped. If your dog cannot be sterilized or chipped due to size, age, or health concerns, you will receive a voucher to have the procedures done at our vet. Please note that the voucher must be present when you go to the vet. The procedures must be done at our vet in order to be covered by us. We will not refund, reimburse, or deduct fees from adoption if you choose to have procedures done at your vet. Sounds like a reasonable compromise, but the thing is, you should never have to pay for a dog you adopted to be spayed or neutered. Every dog you adopt from a responsible dog rescue will be altered. The only exceptions are if the dog is too young or has medical problems. If that's the case, responsible and reputable rescues will arrange for these dogs to be altered at a later date. I need to clarify that this is word for word from an article that exists to help you spot fake rescues. Fake dog rescues will give you a voucher for discounted spay or neuter surgery and assume you'll schedule and pay for it, or they won't give you anything so you end up paying full price for the surgery. Sound familiar? Because that was beyond eerie to me. A question I truly have is, who are Wagmar's vets? You should avoid dog rescues that don't have strict spay or neuter policies because they're more concerned about making money than reducing the number of dogs euthanized in shelters. Red flag number 6. On one of their Facebook posts, they state, we went to get these dogs and another person had taken them. I was told it's another rescue, but they won't tell me which rescue. We coordinated transport, collected donations, set up vet appointments, and had fosters waiting. I plan on taking 8 from Riverside Shelter to make up for this confusion. If anyone would like their donations back. This sounds like they're selling more dogs than they actually have because of the wording. To make up for this confusion. This throws me off because rescuing animals is not always going to be easy. You can't guarantee that you're going to be bringing these animals in at these amounts 100% of the time. So what confusion would there be if they hadn't already had pre-planned homes for dogs that they hadn't had in their possession yet? Obviously, they don't show you this up front. They're framed as a celebrity pet adoption, as reputable by people on TV, but you take one look into the reviews and they start to tell a different story. They'll put on a good show to convince you to adopt a pet, but they're not fully transparent about animals and not fully committed to making sure they find great homes for their specific needs. They just want to dump the animals on anyone who will take them, and then shame you if it's not a good situation for your family, and then deny shaming you, and then fake gratitude for sharing feedback on how they shamed you. We love the dog, but regret the overall experience. I'm sure there are positive experiences, but heed the negative reviews. They're written for a reason. 6 likes. Quality of service is horrible. They were quick to take the money, but did not respond after the adoption day. There were scheduled vaccinations that were not done in the recommended time because the phone calls are all automated and emails had not been returned. Therefore, you can't make an appointment. I ended up just going to a local clinic and paid out of pocket for my dog's vaccinations. Also, a voucher was supposed to be sent via email, which contains a complimentary neuter and microchipping. After 5 months of constant calling and emailing, they finally emailed me the voucher that would expire that same week it was sent. But in order to redeem the voucher, you would have to go to the designated hospital that my dog has been assigned to due to a preliminary screening, then another appointment to do the procedure. Absolutely ridiculous. Can't believe I wasted $850 for this type of service. I thought Wagmar cared about the health and well-being of their animals. I'm very disappointed in them as a company and everything they're supposed to represent, and it seems like I'm not the only one who has experienced this. 5 likes. Found a dog I wanted, filled out the application, had to upload a video of the inside of my house and do an interview. The adoption fee was pretty expensive at $650 for an 8-year-old dog, but my other dog is a senior and I didn't mind paying extra because of all the rescue work they do. They set up an appointment for a meet and greet for a couple of days later. I was told the dog was at the vet getting spayed. We arrived at our scheduled appointment time and were told the dog was not there. The receptionist, who seemed really overworked and stressed out, said that there were some issues with the driver and it would be a long time before they could bring the dog over. Apparently, the dog was still at the vet's office far away. She said we should try and schedule another appointment time, and the woman I spoke to initially would be calling me. That was already discouraging. I told the receptionist that it was not meant to be, and it wasn't. I did not receive any further communications from them. As disappointing as it was, things happen for a reason. After seeing all the other rescues this organization is planning and doing, I'm guessing they have bitten off way more than they can chew. The next day I saw on Facebook they are going to try and rescue another 20 dogs from Mexico. Another 20 dogs! And then they found some puppies in Bakersfield. While they have great intentions, it seems as though they cannot handle the amount of work they already have, and really need to take a step back. You can't save them all. 10 likes. Obviously there are good reviews, but the likes on these reviews are telling. Here, the owner says that there's no preferential treatment.
Are you giving celebrities first choice at the cute dogs?
Right.
What do you say to them?
It's not that we gave preferential treatment to celebrities, it's that these are people that can provide good homes for the dogs.
but seems to contradict herself in Joey's video.
But you specifically were like, I would love to foster a pregnant husky. Yeah. You know, like I was like, if we see what.
To say that me calling Joey a breeder is calling Wagmore a breeder is just untrue. It did make me look even deeper into Wagmore though, and what I did find was this.
Right now I have about 4 dogs coming that are clients' friends, that they just don't want them anymore. We get owner surrenders daily. We go to the shelters. We do everything. And something that we do that probably isn't the most popular is we look on Craigslist. If people are giving away dogs for free, if people are selling dogs that is illegal in California without a license, we want to rescue them. We want to save them.
They've quite literally bought dogs from Craigslist and resold them as rescues. That is who Joey is helping make sure they have more puppies to sell. That is who Joey is fostering animals for, not a shelter. Starting a dog rescue doesn't automatically make you a saint. It just makes you a dog rescue. Wagmore has a lot of red flags as a rescue, and this isn't me making any accusations. This is me saying they need to clear up the confusion. Dog rescues don't deserve any less scrutiny that you would apply to any other seller, and that's why I'm talking about this. To thoroughly vet one dog, then thoroughly screen an adopter to place that dog in the best matched home is not a quick task. To do this for just one dog can take not only significant funds, but the man-hours to promote the dog for adoption, read adoption applications, do vet references for potential adopters, do phone interviews, do home safety checks in person, none of this FaceTime or Skype fake home checks, and in the end, be thoughtful and wait for the best match of a home for that dog. For one dog, this can be hundreds of hours for an ethical rescue, who's not going to cut corners or just sell the dog in front of a pet store to the first person with cash. That would be animal brokering under the guise of a rescue.
It'll be easy. The people will come in. They'll be using us for daycare and boarding and grooming, and they'll want to adopt dogs because they love dogs.
I have nothing against rescues at all. I have an issue with people who don't treat animals with respect. Oh, also, I genuinely find it funny that someone told me to delete part 1 because it was slanderous, when Wagmore hadn't even been mentioned yet. I don't even hate Wagmore, either. I just think that they've got a lot of red flags, and the owner is taking in too many pets. I think that the owner needs to clear up the red flags so things make more sense, because, I really can't apologize for my opinions. This is just what I believe, and I won't be shamed for that. If you want to hear more of my opinions, you can check out my Twitter, and if you want to see my face, you can check out my Instagram. Whatever you do, don't follow my Tumblr. Well, I'm signing off here. I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.